The Dallas Cowboys find themselves in a pivotal offseason moment, with ESPN insiders and NFL analysts speculating intensely on their next big moves in free agency. The 2024 season left a sour taste in the mouths of fans and executives alike. Finishing 7-10, missing the playoffs, and underperforming on both sides of the ball meant one thing: changes were inevitable. The pressure is now squarely on Jerry Jones and the Cowboys front office to surround quarterback Dak Prescott with the kind of playmakers that can elevate this team back into serious NFC contention. With nearly $54 million in cap space entering the 2025 offseason, the Cowboys have more financial flexibility than in years past, and the urgency to spend smartly is at an all-time high. ESPN's most recent breakdown of top free agent targets for the Cowboys highlights three intriguing names that have sparked debate among fans and analysts alike: Amari Cooper, Stefon Diggs, and Kyzir White. Each name brings with it a unique mix of familiarity, upside, and risk, making the Cowboys' decisions this offseason all the more fascinating and impactful. Amari Cooper is a name that resonates deeply with the Dallas faithful. After being acquired from the Raiders in 2018, Cooper revitalized a stagnant Cowboys offense. His chemistry with Dak Prescott was undeniable, racking up nearly 4,000 receiving yards and 27 touchdowns during his time in Dallas. Though he was traded away in 2022 to the Browns due to cap constraints, his impact lingered. Since leaving Dallas, Cooper remained productive, including multiple 1,000-yard seasons. However, 2024 saw a decline in his numbers due to a mid-season trade from Cleveland to Buffalo and injuries that limited his output. Despite this downturn, ESPN and other analysts have continually mentioned him as an ideal reunion candidate for the Cowboys. The logic is simple: he knows the system, he knows the quarterback, and the chemistry is already proven. With the Cowboys having failed to address their wide receiver depth in the 2025 NFL Draft, the need for a veteran WR2 behind CeeDee Lamb has become even more glaring. Cooper's projected price tag, hovering around $14 to $15 million per year on a short-term deal, fits within Dallas's financial structure and gives them a reliable veteran who can hit the ground running. The risk, of course, lies in age and durability. At 31, Cooper isn't the explosive downfield threat he once was, but his technical precision, ability to separate in the intermediate game, and familiarity with Dak Prescott's timing make him perhaps the most logical target for Dallas this offseason. Then there's Stefon Diggs, a player whose name alone evokes excitement and skepticism in equal measure. Diggs, a perennial Pro Bowl receiver, has been one of the most consistent and dangerous route runners in the NFL over the past 6 seasons. His time in Buffalo turned him into a true number 1 receiver, but the 2024 season was rocky. Traded mid-season to the Houston Texans, Diggs suffered a torn ACL late in the year, casting a shadow over his immediate future. At 31, the combination of age and recovery from a major knee injury is not insignificant. However, what makes Diggs such an alluring possibility for Dallas isn't just his elite skill set, it's the emotional and narrative layers that come with him. His younger brother, Trevon Diggs, is already a star cornerback for the Cowboys, and the idea of a Diggs brothers tandem on both sides of the ball has captured fans' imaginations. ESPN analysts have called Diggs a high-reward gamble for the Cowboys, suggesting a 1-year, prove-it deal in the $14 million range could be worth exploring. While his route running remains elite when healthy, questions linger about how much explosiveness he'll retain after his ACL recovery. Would he be willing to take a discounted deal to play with his brother and chase a ring in Dallas? It's plausible. The Cowboys offer a large platform, national exposure, and a competent offense where he wouldn't have to carry the load. With CeeDee Lamb attracting the bulk of defensive attention, Diggs could find himself facing more favorable matchups than he has in years. But this is a move that carries real risk. If his knee doesn't hold up, or if his speed drops off noticeably, the Cowboys could find themselves stuck with another aging, underperforming contract. Still, the upside, the potential chemistry with Doc, and the storylines that would write themselves make Diggs a tantalizing free agent that's hard to ignore. On the defensive side, the Cowboys face a less flashy but equally pressing need: linebacker depth. Enter Kyzir White, a name that's been floated around league circles as a potential under-the-radar signing for Dallas. White, most recently with the Cardinals, is not a Pro Bowl caliber player, but he's a steady, reliable presence who can contribute immediately. He brings leadership, veteran savvy, and versatility in both pass coverage and run support. The Cowboys' defense, headlined by Micah Parsons, has leaned on athleticism and high-energy playmakers in recent years, but they've been light on consistent veteran presence in the linebacker core. After losing key pieces in free agency and not addressing the position early in the 2025 draft, Dallas is in desperate need of dependable depth. Kyzir White may not sell jerseys or make highlight reels, but he can eat snaps, contribute on special teams, and add toughness in the middle of the field. ESPN analysts have repeatedly stressed that Dallas needs to stop relying solely on stars and start filling out their depth chart with functional, assignment-sound veterans. White fits that mold perfectly. He won't cost more than $4 to $6 million annually, making him a budget-friendly addition who adds immediate value. For a team that's been plagued by inconsistent linebacker play when Parsons shifts to the edge, White can offer both stability and insurance. When you zoom out, these three targets, Cooper, Diggs, and White, each represent a different strategy the Cowboys could take. Signing Cooper would be the safe, smart, emotionally satisfying move that fills a clear need without overcommitting financially. It's a move that aligns with the Cowboys' history of betting on familiarity and locker room chemistry. Bringing in Diggs, on the other hand, would be bold and polarizing. It could elevate the offense to elite status if he returns to form, but it also risks being a flashy mistake that eats into the cap. Signing Kyzir White would be about roster completeness, maturity, and the ability to weather the grind of a full NFL season without burning out their stars. Ideally, the Cowboys could pursue a combination of these strategies, Cooper and White, or Diggs and White. Financially, all three might be a stretch unless other players are restructured or released. But with the stakes so high, and the window for contention starting to close around this version of the roster, the time to act is now. From a cap perspective, the Cowboys have room to make at least one meaningful move. Cooper and Diggs are both projected to command similar salaries, about $13 to $15 million annually. Signing both would eat up over half of their available cap space, leaving little flexibility for additional depth or injury insurance. Adding Kyzir White, in contrast, is relatively painless and could even come after one of the big-name receivers is signed. The real question is whether the Cowboys are ready to fully commit to winning now or whether they'll hedge, hoping younger players step up. ESPN's coverage has leaned heavily into the idea that Dallas cannot afford to sit on its hands this year. With the NFC still wide open behind dominant teams like the 49ers and Lions, Dallas needs firepower and reliability to break into that top tier. Fan reaction to the potential additions has been predictably passionate. The idea of bringing Cooper back has overwhelming support online, with fans pointing to his consistent production and rapport with Doc. Meanwhile, the Diggs brothers scenario is also hugely popular, with memes, mock-ups, and highlight compilations flooding social media. But some fans are wary of chasing names over production, pointing out that the Cowboys have often been burned by sentimentality. Kyzir White doesn't generate the same headlines, but hardcore fans recognize that championships are built not just on stars, but on solid, dependable role players who step up when injuries hit or games tighten. Ultimately, the Cowboys' front office is at a crossroads. With Dak Prescott still in his prime, CeeDee Lamb entering superstar territory, and Micah Parsons anchoring the defense, the core is good enough to win. But it needs help. It needs proven veterans who can step in and elevate the group. ESPN's targeted list of Cooper, Diggs, and White offers a compelling roadmap, one that balances familiarity, risk, and upside. Whether the Cowboys follow that path or look elsewhere will define not just the 2025 season, but the legacy of this era of Dallas football. The NFC is there for the taking. The question is, will Jerry Jones go all in, or will the Cowboys once again be the team that almost had it? The time for indecision is over. The moment to strike is now.